Hey everyone, welcome back to a modern favor on success in business and in life. The leader who had no title. In this session number 6, part 3, we are going to discuss about how the you can deepen your relationship and strengthen your leadership while building the relations with others. So, when I reflect on the explosive success we experienced, and when anyone from the media, for example, tries to give me all the credit, I let them in on the secret. It was because of powerful community and relationship that we achieved. We all did. In other words, we accomplished our remarkable victories because we worked hand in hand. We realized our success because of tremendous collaboration and our feeling that we were in it together. See, an unbeatable organization is there really nothing more than a series of great relationships. That relationships cascaded throughout the entire enterprise, all single-handedly focused on some inspirational outcome. Jackson when walked over to a pool of water that had some beautiful white lilies growing in it. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a coin. Jackson leaned over a flower, sniffing the smell. He then handed me the coin. He please, here, please throw this coin into the pool, but first make a wish. This is your lucky day today. I threw the coin into the water. Tommy was watching me from the other end of the terrace. He still looked as scruffy as when I first met him at the bookstore only a few days ago. He still wore the old vest, he tattered fan, and the SpongeBob square pants watch. But I now saw him for what he truly was beyond his eccentric exterior, a genuine leader and a gorgeous human being. And I couldn't help but appreciate the giant gift to this man he had given to me. The gift of learning that I could lead masterfully, regardless of where I walked and the event of my past. I began to worry a little, though I began to notice more clearly that Tommy was an old man. I wondered how much longer he would live. I felt a bit sad. See how the water ripples throughout the pool just because you threw that single coin in it, Black, Jackson noted. I can see, I replied easily. Well, that is what relationship within an organization are like. Everyone does matter and every team member's actions count. In organization, the matter of a relationship is that everyone does matter in an organization and every teammate's actions count and each relationship sorts of cascades through the entire company. One superb relationship inspires the next conversation, which moves on the next one. So this sequence grows on and grows till the conclusion and a strongest relationship. and the ripple effect ultimately determine what the culture of the entire place will be like and the quality of the result the enterprise will achieve. When I was a young intern at the first company I ever worked for, we did a training course that I have never forgotten. What was so special about it? I asked. It was special because of what I learned about the importance of building deep, high trust and speculator or speculatory strong relationship. At the end of the workshop, we were given a test to see if we remembered the main idea taught. The last question was this one. Write the name of our company's janitor, the elderly man who cleans our office every night. I honestly had no idea I'd seen him vacuuming and carrying garbage on the nights I do work late. But I did never taken the time to get to know him. I just didn't think it mattered. He was just the cleaner. Well, I failed the test. No one could pass without answering the question perfectly. And I received a lesson that I still carry with me to this day. I received a lesson that day that I still carry with me to this day. If you truly want your business to lead the field, everyone within an organization matters. Everyone within an enterprise is important. Everyone within a business need to be engaged and connected. That is because the quality of an organization come down to the quality of relationships between its individual teammates. Good relationship give you a good company. Extraordinary relationships give you the extraordinary company. So decide your company accordingly and engage everyone in the organization. So, what was the janitor's name? I had to ask. Tim. Jackson replied instantly. Tim Turner. I got to know him after that, and the human being I thought was a nobody turned out to be a man who gave most of his free time to work with disadvantaged children, had read more books on philosophy than I could ever get through in a lifetime, and was one of the most polished conversationalists I have ever known. Everyone you meet, regardless of their title and the way they appear, is someone's son or daughter. But everyone has a story that is worth hearing. You should not meet to a person as a child, as a daughter, as a boy of someone, but they have their own story that should be heard and know some lessons worth learning. Wow, was all I could say. Jackson fell silent. Tommy didn't tell you this, but I lost my wife to cancer a few years ago, he said, almost whispering. Very sorry to hear that, Jackson, I responded. Empathetically, you don't have to be, though I was a powerhouse in business and we really built a stunner of a company. I never neglected my relationship with her. I never fell into the trap of taking for granted the person I loved the most. I never lost sight of the importance of our relationship. Now she is gone or he has gone, but I have no regret. Not one. I still miss her deeply, but I truly have no regrets. Because just as I put people first in my business life, so to deepen your relationship, you have to put the people first in your business life. I made my relationship with her my primary priorities. Put people first, and everything takes care of itself in so many ways. So, this is the exemplification of the things. If you put the people first, there will be a lot of ways the thing will get done automatically. But people first, and everything takes care of itself so many ways. And we really have forgotten this fundamental leadership truth. What is that? Keep or put the people first, and the rest will be done automatically in so many ways. This is the fundamental leadership truth. The business world is more wide than ever before, but I have to say the business people have never been so disconnected. We have more technology than at any time in history, yet we experience less humanity. And we are clearly more sophisticated than we have ever been. But perhaps we have never been so unwise. What I am really trying to suggest is that being great at business is all about a glorious focus on people, believing in them, engaging them, bonding with them, serving them, and celebrating them. So these are the five fundamental rules to creating a great or deepen a relationship. Believe in the people with whom you are. Engage them in the activities what you are doing, bonding with them for a suggestion and making multiple ideas. Serve them for getting the response from them and celebrating them to make the environment of cheering with the people you have. If you are really serious about winning in business, become a walking, talking, living, and breathing hub, radiating positive energy, excellence, and kindness to every person you are fortunate enough to help. What a way to put it all, Jackson. Thanks you so much for sharing so openly, and I will agree what you. People don't seem to have a real conversation anymore. There is too much texting instead of talking. So the people should have to become more talking, lively, breathing, how radiating positive energy, excellence, and kind to every person you are fortunate enough to help. People don't seem to have real conversations anymore. There is too much texting instead of talking. People are having meal together in a restaurant, but no one's speaking. People don't even look at each other anymore. People appear to hide from the world with the earphone covering their ears and handset covering their mouth. My parents, God bless them both, didn't have a lot, but every night they insisted on a family meal. We do share the stories of our day around a manual or communal dinner table. This is a great way of togetherness in a family. You should teach to your child too. We do remember happy vacations. We do laugh together. We do support each other. We do open up to one another. That was so important. It is great to hear someone who has been as successful as you have been. Jackson confirmed that relationships are so incredibly important. I said, feeling passionate about the idea that former superstar CEO was sharing with me. I'm just a gardener now, he replied with genuine humility. But thanks, and just like I now spend my days growing these beautiful flowers up here on this wonderful terrace. You keep growing each and every one of your connections with your teammates and your customers, and you will do just fine. And when it comes to you, co-workers, please remember that as you nurture the relationship, keep making sure you grow the people. Leaders without a title are also about seeing the best in people and create culture where they can bloom. The same way a good gardener understands that the soil is mission critical not only to a plant's survival but also to its growth. Jackson stated some more of his old business speak creeping into the conversation. And also remember that people do business with people they like. People do business with people whom they like, and people do business with people whom they trust, and people do business with people who make them feel special. Treat other people like VIPs. You can use your leadership power to make such a difference at that bookstore where you work. Black. Your teammates will love you for that, and your customers will flock to you and come your fanatical flowers. I do love to have fanatical flowers, I said enthusiastically. I took a bite of a cookie. Jackson paused. He looked around the garden. I know you both are on a schedule, and I will need to finish up some things I was working on up here before I call it a day. But I have five very valuable rules that I want to share with you so that you can master the principle of the lead without the title philosophy that you have discovered with me here today. The principle you have taught me being the deeper your relationship, the stronger your leadership. I asked just for clarification, right? And just like the other two teachers you have met so far, I have my own acronym to help you remember these powerful rules. For the deeper your relationship, the stronger your leadership. Hit me with it. Starting I love those remembering acronyms, I replied happily as I polished off Jackson's delicious cookies. Human, when you are meeting with the people, make your relationship as a human being, you are a human being. He uttered, human being, as he sat on a beautiful wooden beach. I laughed. He is good, isn't he? Shouted Tommy, suntanning in the corner on a teak chair. He drew out strongly sprinkled white flour petal around his feet. Jackson continued, the H stand for healthfulness. The principle is here the as an acronym that human. And the H stand for helpfulness. As I shared with you earlier, business is pretty much simply about being radically helpful. So, one of the most powerful thoughts I can offer you to reach leadership mastery is to always do more than you are paid to be. What you are paid to be, you have to do more than that always, so you will become a leader without a title. Your compensation will always be a direct function of your contribution. Like, how many times do you go into a store or some restaurant and just ache that the people who work there were really, really, really helpful? It is so rare. Most people are just stuck in this terrace. They have become so desensitized to seeing a customer walk in the front door. They have begun to take them for granted. They have forgotten there is a live human being in front of them, and one who essentially puts food on their table every night. Helpful is a simple word that is so speculative if you install it in a DNA level. So it lives at the very heart of way you work and how you live. Be beautiful, be helpful. No, commit to becoming the most helpful person you know. Perfect was all I could say. Jackson's world had triggered a flood of thoughts and emotions. Leadership was so much more than I'd ever dreamed it to be. It was not only a way that any person lived today, within any organization, a business, a community, an entire nation could use their natural power to inspire others to become all they were meant to be. It was also a way for each of us to realize our best potential and create value for the world around us. You know, black human beings have these core human hungers deep within them, whether they consciously know it or not. Every one of us wants to know that we are expanding our potential and growing as people. Every one of us wants to know that no matter what we do for employment, we are somehow making a difference. And we all want to know that we are living in a way that when we get to the end of our lives, we don't feel we have lived in vain. No one wants to get to their deathbed and look back at a life that counted for nothing. Those words stopped me cold. I took it in a deep breath. I reflected on how I was living, and I realized that unless I made profound changes now, my future would simply present me with more of what I have experienced in my past. I didn't want to get to my last day and realize that I have essentially lived the same year 85 times. Which brings me to the you in a human being. So live a life that helpful to other people. So when you or are we all will at the last breath of the bed, so that time we should not realize that we lived in vain. There is something still we needs to finish or accomplish. So that thing brings me to the you in a human being. It represents understanding. First, when you are helpful, then you should have the understanding too. To build world class relationship, you not only need to be astonishingly helpful, it is also imperative that you be masterful at understanding people. And that comes down And that comes down to one of the most important of all leadership skills, deep listening. Speak less and listen more. Deep listening is speak less and listen more. Also, listen effectively. Now, you might call people being a speculatory good listener a soft skill, but that wouldn't be accurate. My friend, if it was so soft and so easy, then why is a person who really knows how to listen from the deep of their being such an endangered species? How many people do you know who know when you are speaking to them make you feel as if the world around them has stopped because they are have a genuine fascination with what you are saying and what is about to come out of your mouth next. How many people do you know who listen with such intensity of concentration that it is almost as if they can hear the silence between each one of your words? No one can't even think of one, I immediately replied.